Nicaragua, their lone loss coming to the United States. It was a 10-0 loss a couple of days ago. Korea has dropped games to the U.S. and to Panama. We get a look at the starting lineup for Korea. Jongwon Kim's club, again, a must-win ball game. Chan-So Lee, Song-Moo Jang, and Jong Yu-Jang will be the three men that we will see here in the top of the first inning. Song-Won Ji, Jung-Wi Woo, and Jin-Jong Lee in the middle of the lineup. Ji-Won Kim, who's getting his first start at shortstop, he's hitting seventh. Gong Lee and Sun-Woo Lee round out the lineup. The starting defense for Mauricio Benavides' club, that being Nicaragua. There you see it, Miranda, Maltonalto, and Martinez. Left to right in the outfield, Callado, Machado, Tomentes, and Bravo. Left to right in the infield, and Mauricio Benavides will be the starting catcher. And Nicaragua, a team that may be somewhat surprising that they're currently sitting at 3-1, giving their international ranking of 15. You might look at the international ranking of 15 and say, well, how is Nicaragua not necessarily higher than that? And well, it has to do with the amount of accumulated points at playing in tournaments like this, but a very decorated baseball playing nation. As you get a look at Gerardo Mendoza, who will be our home plate umpire. Hanug at first, Riley Barrington down at second base, and Mi-Chang Tsai from Taiwan will be our third base umpire as we get set for our second game of the day. Not much later than what we wanted, considering all the rain that we've had. This was a 2 o'clock scheduled start. And we are right at the top of the 3 o'clock hour, so only 1 hour behind schedule here at Tainan Municipal Stadium. And boy, given the amount of rain that we've had, the fact that we might actually get all of these opening round games in is nothing short of a miracle. Getting a look at the starting pitcher for Nicaragua, Derek Reyes. His one appearance earlier in the tournament came against Germany. You see the numbers there. 2 innings pitched, scoreless. He struck out 5 in that appearance against Germany. And Nicaragua will be looking for much of the same work out of the young right-hander. So the stage is set. Korea, a must-win. Nicaragua, if they win, they are in. Plenty to play for these two clubs as we hurtling toward the Super Round. It'll start in earnest tomorrow and be the next 3 days. Again, the top 3 teams from each of the 2 groups, the United States and Chinese Taipei, out of groups B and A respectively. They have already punched their tickets. A win here from Nicaragua, and they will do the same. It's a Nicaraguan team that has medaled in this tournament. They were bronze medalists at the first iteration of this tournament. They'd love to get back to the Super Round and give themselves an opportunity for perhaps another bronze or maybe even a gold or silver. The Chinese Taipei and the United States certainly look like the teams to beat, but Nicaragua is the only team that's really given the United States any issues. They did beat them 10-0, but it wasn't an easy 10-0 win, if you can believe that. United States has been blowing everybody out of the water. 27 runs in one of their games, 23 in another. They scored 31 runs today to the U.S., so a 10-0 win against Nicaragua, when you look at the evidence elsewhere, shows that Nicaragua actually played pretty well in that baseball game. So here's Chan-So Lee leading things off for Korea in a must-win ball game. Reyes has his sign, delivers the first. It's a swing and a miss, and we are underway in our second game of the day here at Tainan Municipal Stadium. Chan-So Lee, Song-Moo Jang, and Jong Yu-Jang, the 3 do-ups for Korea's, the 0-1, painting the outer edge. And Reyes quickly ahead in the count, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Pretty good pitch, painting the black part of the outside plate, as this one's fouled off. We'll do it again at 0-2. It's the first time that we are getting a look at Nicaragua here on our broadcast. They did play at Tainan. It was not a televised game. It's the 0-2, missing just off the outside part of the plate. Plenty of baseball culture and plenty of history in Nicaragua as this one's lifted into right field. An easy play out there for Martinez, and Chan-So Lee is retired. 1 gone here in the first inning. There have been several big leaguers come from The small nation of Nicaragua, the most recent coming from a very small island off the coast of the small country of Nicaragua. We'll tell you about him in just a moment as Songwoo Jang stands in. Fouls one straight back, 0-1. Of course, talking about Chesler Cuthbert. The Kansas City Royals made his debut in 2015. He is from Corn Island, Nicaragua. Ball missing just off the inner part of the plate. 1 ball and 1 strike. Corn Island just off the coast, east coast of Nicaragua in the Gulf of Mexico. This ball is on the ground to the left side, but foul. Action here at Tainan Municipal. It's the 1-2 swung out. Oswaldo Marina, another name. Vicente Padilla, another one of the well-known players. Tony Chavez. Plenty of big leaguers come from the country of Nicaragua. The 1-2 is in there. A called strike 3. Jang is down on strikes. And Derek Reyes has retired the first 2 that he's faced here in inning number 1. Swinging first pitch here is Songwoo Jang, and he fouls it off toward the right side. Nothing in 1 is popped up. It's behind home plate, and that will get out of play. Mauricio Benavides gave it a look. Certainly, if you go, give Corn Island a look. And it's a small island. Oh, it's about 70 kilometers east of the mainland in the Caribbean. That's the home of Chesler Cuthbert. Perhaps one of the more out there places that you'll see a big leaguer come from. Not necessarily the country of Nicaragua, but the small island off of its coast. The 2-2, called strike 3, inning over. Derek Reyes strikes out a pair. Good first inning of work from the right-hander. We go to the last of the first. Korea 0, Nicaragua coming up. Nicaragua coming to the plate for the first time as we head to the last of the first here in Tainan. You'll get a look at their lineup, and it is a lineup top to bottom for Mauricio Benavides that has been very, very tough. When you look at somebody like Nelson Sevilla, the DH, who's hitting 7th, he has 4 base hits in this tournament. He's driven in a couple. Even Torrentes there, Carlos Torrentes hitting in the 6th spot. He has driven in 2. He's tripled. He has 4 base hits. So up and down that Nicaraguan lineup, there are plenty of guys that can hit the baseball. Going to look at the defense behind Songwoo Ji, who we'll take a look at in a moment. Lee Jang and Jang, left to right in the outfield. Lee Kim, Lee, and Wu, left to right in the infield. And Gung Lee will be the starting catcher. Nicaragua looking to jump out to an early lead after Derek Reyes made quick work of the Korean offense in the top half of the first inning. And the man trying to stop an offensive onslaught will be Sungwon Ji, the starting pitcher for Korea. He's pitched a couple of times in this tournament already. 2 appearances, one against Panama, the other against the United States. Both of those coincidentally losses for Korea. And Ji has thrown 3 2/3. He's allowed 7 earned runs. He had struck out 5, but has allowed 2 rather large home runs. He was the one, you might remember, that allowed the big fly to Adon Sanchez. It ended up being the difference in Panama's 1-0 victory over Korea. That was a fantastic baseball game that we had here on the tournament's first day right here at Tainan Municipal. Panama needing a win tonight against Australia, and they will be, in all likelihood, into the Super Round. Nicaragua can make sure of that if they are able to beat Korea. Going to win by Korea here, and things get very, very interesting. There's essentially 2 spots for 3 teams. Speaking of Panama, Nicaragua, and Korea, we'll wait to see how this one sorts itself out. Gerald Maldonado is the man at the plate, leading things off for Nicaragua here in the last of the first. The 1-0 to him, and for a called strike count even. It'll be Maldonado, Martinez, and Brian Machado. Gerald Bravo will hit if anyone reaches here in the last of the first inning. 1-1, tapped foul toward the left side, a ball and 2 strikes. Action here at Tainan Municipal. Well, speaking a bit about Chesler Cuthbert of the Kansas City Royals last half inning, a native of Nicaragua, the only one currently in the big leagues. The 1-2 is taken high. J.C. Ramirez, who has played from time to time, as well as Erasmo Ramirez, neither currently in the big leagues, but are in major league systems, as this one's just off the outside part of the plate, 3-2. I had a chance to work with Chesler Cuthbert when he was in the minor leagues and played for the Kansas City Royals AA affiliate. You will not meet a nicer young man and a young man more proud of where he comes from. So the 3-2 is just off the outer part of the plate. G can't believe it. He thought he had a strikeout. And Monte Alto will walk to begin the last half of the first. Nicaragua catching a break. They'll check on the runner over at first. Tialto is back in safely. Tito Martinez, he's 4 for 9 in this tournament. He has doubled, he's driven in a run. This Nicaraguan lineup is tough from top to bottom. Chesler Cuthbert, of course, getting a World Series ring in 2015 as part of that Kansas City Royals team. He was a very highly touted prospect, I remember, when he came up through the Kansas City Royals system. And if he gets the chance to talk about Corn Island and being a native of Nicaragua, it's something that he's very passionate about. He takes a lot of pride in where he comes from. Paying a lot of attention to Gerald Maldonado down at first base. He's causing some issues. Dancing around. Worth noting that Nicaragua has not stolen a base in this tournament. Korea certainly think that he'll be going. Now the 3rd throw over by Sungwon Ji. They've been close every time. Ball and a strike, runner not going, and it's a swing and a miss. Now 1-2 on Martinez. A high fastball. And Sungwon Ji could use a strikeout. Again, they'll check on the runner, the 5th time that he's thrown over. This was a big league ballpark. They'd be booing him. The 1-2 in for a called strike 3. We've seen 3 strikeouts to this point of the ball game, and they've all been looking. 2 in the top half of the first, and now this one to Tito Martinez. 1 out in the bottom of the first. Boy, G is paying a lot of attention over there to first base. See so many pitchers get in trouble that way, paying more attention to the runner at first than they are the batsman. Certainly the K here with Seungwon Ji is, you could say, bothered by Monty Alto over there at first. He'll come home, and the first delivery to Machado is low for ball 1. If you're Korea, you must know that Nicaragua has not stolen a base. Gung Lee possesses a great arm behind home plate. It's unlikely that they would be running against him. But one way or another, Seungwon Ji is not happy with the lead that he sees at first. So he's trying to keep Monty Alto honest. The 1-0 pitch in for a called strike, count even. Nicaragua's 3 wins have come against Germany, Panama, and Australia. Again, their lone loss, as talked about at the top of our broadcast, coming against the United States. 3-1, looking to stamp their ticket to the Super Round as the ball gets away, but Gung Lee keeps it in front. And the count is 2-1. A win from Nicaragua would mean that Panama just need to defeat Australia tonight. And Nicaragua and Panama would both be through to the Super Round. Ball swung on and missed. It's 2-2 now in Machado. And Korea will need to win, and they will need some help. A Korean win and a Panamanian loss would mean that Korea and Nicaragua each would get through, as this ball is tapped foul. But a win from Korea, a win from Panama tonight would mean 3 teams stand at 3 wins, 2 losses. And there's only 2 spots, so you'd be looking at a tiebreaker scenario, with the United States being the standout team in Group B. The next offering, the 2-2, called strike 3. Back-to-back strikeouts looking. Good work from Seungwon Ji, and there's 2 gone in the first. We're just painting the edge, and Ryan Machado can't believe it. So with 2 outs, runners still at first. It's Gerald Bravo, the first baseman. Hit the lone home run for Nicaragua. Here he inside outs one, right side of the infield. It'll fall for a base hit. Monty Alto, good base running as he heads all the way to third, and it's men at the corners for Nicaragua. And Wu at first base, once he sort of realized he couldn't get to this baseball, retreated, went back to cover the first base bag. Well, it was really in no man's land. There was no choice for Wu to retreat in case Lee made a miraculous play and could get the ball to first. There's runners at the corners. Diego Collado is the man at the plate, and the first to him is a called strike. Collado 3 for 9. He's driven in 3. And a chance to put his team on top in the first inning. Next to Collado in the air, on the infield, foul territory right side, and it just falls foul. About a foot or so on the foul side of the right field line. Unlucky for Nicaragua, but a good break if you're the Korean defense. 0-2 now on Collado as he will take the slow stroll back to the plate. And Seungwon Ji is just a pitch now away from getting out of the jam. No balls and 2 strikes next to a Collado off the plate outside. The games that Nicaragua have won, they have won them convincingly. and played from in front a majority of this tournament. 1-2 missing low. Now 2 balls and 2 strikes. Carlos Torrentes is the man who waits on deck. He's been equally as dangerous as Collado has. The 2-2 tapped at home plate. It's a fair ball. Picked up by G. He tosses to first. And the inning is over. Nicaragua put 2 on with 2 outs in the first. G pitches around it. We go to the second inning scoreless in Tainan. Korea coming to the plate here in the top of the second inning. They were retired in order in the first. It'll be the 4, 5, and 6 spots in the Korean lineup as Derek Reyes goes back to work. He was very effective an inning ago. Struck out a pair, retired the side in order. It'll be Ji-woo and Lee. And G swinging here. Pops it up foul toward the right side, out of play. And the count's 0-2. Nothing in 2 to G, and he taps it foul. It hit the underbill of his helmet. It was sort of ricocheted off of the batter. But G appears to be okay. We'll do it again at 0-2. Two balls and 2 strikes on G, the right-hand hitter, and this one missing high. Now 3-2. Mentioned that the clouds started to clear about midway through the previous contest that we had here today, being Chinese Taipei and Mexico. Still smatterings of blue skies and seeing the sun poking through for the first time in several days as the 3-2 is hammered. High in the sky, though, as he got underneath it. And Montialto will camp underneath to make the catch for the first out of the inning. Boy, he hit that ball hard, but he just got underneath it. And the center fielder is able to make the catch. One gone here in the second. You can hear it when it comes off the bat most times and know how hard the baseball was hit. And G got all of the baseball. He just was slightly underneath. Nearly had his first home run of the tournament. So here now is Jung-Yu Woo, the first baseman. He's 3 for 6 this week, and he takes the first for a ball. Korea looking for their first base runner of the afternoon. As the 1-0 is low. Now 2 balls, no strikes. 2-0 fouled back, 2 balls and a strike. Take a look around the other diamonds for some of the other scores from today's action as we progress throughout the second inning here in Tainan. Again, 3 different venues being used. And thank goodness for it with all the makeup games we've had to play. Here's a ball that's laced at the third baseman, but off of his glove. It'll trickle into left. And Korea had their first base runner on their first base hit of the afternoon. That ball was absolutely smoked. At Diego Collado, he just had to throw the glove up in self-defense. Look at that. It's a tough play to make. Surely they give a base hit on this play. Because one way or another, Wu is standing atop first base. The United States and Germany has gone final. It was a 20-3 win for the United States, and finishing up a perfect opening round for the USA. Another throw over. Japan, who is in desperate need of just playing baseball games. They've had so many games rained out. As of last night, they'd only played 2 times. This one is cued off the end of the bat, foul. Japan defeated South Africa today. That ball game at Quijin, a 31-win victory for Japan. They only hit in 3 different innings. It was an 18-run third for Japan in that ball game. If they're able to get a win against Chinese Taipei tonight, they punch their ticket into the Super Round. And the only other game to have gone final was the one that we saw here at Tainan Municipal just prior to this game, a 10-0 win for Chinese Taipei. This ball is lifted into shallow left field, in between the shortstop and left fielder, and nobody can make the catch. Well, no doubt about that one, it'll be a base hit for Zhenjiang Li. As if it had been a foot shorter or a foot longer, somebody would have made the catch, but it's perfectly placed out and left. And Korea, they are now threatening here in the second inning, as Ji-wook Kim will stand in. Right-hander who we're seeing at the plate for the first time. Runners are going to throw down, not in time. Both will advance, and it's 2 in scoring position for Korea, a legitimate opportunity to score the game's first run. Ball just trickled away momentarily from Benavides, as you'll see. It was a bit of an errant pitch from Derek Reyes. Next offering, off the plate outside, 2 balls and no strikes to Kim. Nicaragua had 2 aboard and a chance to take an early lead in the first, but Korea pitched out of it. Derek Reyes will try to do the same here in the second as Kim swings and misses. 2 balls and a strike. I mentioned that Japan would need to defeat Chinese Taipei in their game later today to ensure their spot in the Super Round. That ball game will be here at Tainan Municipal. It's the 2-1 swung on and missed as well, 2-2. Also scheduled to televise Panama and Australia. That would be our 4th game of the day here at Tainan Municipal. A big pitch upcoming, the 2-2 to Kim, and he just gets a piece. Fouling it off behind home plate. It'll stay 2 balls and 2 strikes. And they're certainly making Derek Reyes labor here in the second inning. He made easy work of the top 3 Korean hitters in the first. But after a flyout, back-to-back base hits, and another 2-2 coming. It's swung out and missed. It's dropped at home plate. Reyes has to throw down. The runner is coming home. Throw not in time, and Korea lead 1-0. Oh, it was a catch-22 for Mauricio Benavides. Do you throw down to get the out after the strikeout and risk the run coming home to score? Do you let the guy go to first base? He elects to get the out, and the throw back home from Gerald Bravo a bit late. And Korea scored the game's first run. They lead at 1-0 in the second. So here's Gung Lee hitting now, the catcher. A right-handed swinger for Korea. Nicaragua will check on the runner at second. Nothing in one to lead, missing off the plate, a ball and a strike. Again, Korea the team with their backs against the wall. Nicaragua, win and you're into the super round. Korea needs a win to stay alive in that conversation, as this one is fouled straight back. And the count is now a ball and 2 strikes on Gung Lee. One, two just off the plate. Now 2 balls and 2 strikes. A loss certainly doesn't eliminate Nicaragua from chances in the super round. Quite the contrary. A loss would mean a 3-way tie potentially if Panama beats Australia. His swing and a miss here, and the inning is over. Reyes strikes out 2 more. He has 4 in the game, but Korea strike first. We go to the last of the second, 1-0. One nothing Korea as you get a look at Jong-Gyu Woo, the first baseman who scored the first run of this contest. Korea in a must-win situation. Gyu took a chance and scored the game's first run after the strikeout. Benavides needing to throw down to first to complete the second out of the inning. An unconventional way to score the first run, but they count the same. This next offering to Torrentes will even the count at a ball and a strike. 6, 7, and 8 due up for Nicaragua. Torrentes, Sevilla, and Freddie Miranda. Next from G is hit back to the pitcher. He'll flick it over to first, and an easy out for the first here in the second inning. We were talking scenarios a little bit before we went to break. That being what happens if Korea does indeed win this game. Well, they have the head-to-head over Nicaragua. But it's not that simple. As swinging first pitch, fouling it off is Sevilla, 0-1. As if Panama then defeats Australia, you're looking at 3 teams at 3-2 that, well, they all defeated each other. Korea would have beaten Nicaragua, who beat Panama, who beat Korea. Did he hold up his swing? I say that he did. Quickly, no balls and 2 strikes. So you start getting into more complicated tiebreaker scenarios where you don't necessarily control your own destiny as to whether or not you get into the super round. So for Nicaragua, their best hope is to just win. Panama would also be looking at this game with quite a bit of interest, hoping that Nicaragua can defeat Korea, and if they take care of Australia, those two are in without incident. Called strike 3 on the 0-2 pitch to Sevilla, and Seung-Hwan Ji is dealing like his life depends on it, as he's now struck out 3, and there's quickly 2 gone here in the second inning. Boy, painting that outer edge. We saw it a couple times in the first. And there it is again here in the second inning. Freddie Miranda hitting with no one aboard, and he takes a big hack at the first offering, 0-1. Next to Miranda, a called strike as well, and it's 0-2. Seung-Hwan Ji is putting the baseball anywhere he likes these first couple of innings. He is at pinpoint accuracy. 0-2 on the ground, left side. Diving play made by Kim. He throws across, but the throw's going to be up the line. That may be an infield single for Freddie Miranda. Spectacular diving stop by Kim. And he was unable to get the throw to first in time. It will indeed be a base hit, but get a load of this again. Pass Lee at third, but Kim, extension, makes the play. Unfortunately, came up a bit short of the throw. Miranda has a 2-out single. Here's Mauricio Benavides, the 9-hole hitter. He takes the first for a called strike. Nicaragua left a pair stranded in the first inning. A man aboard here in the second. They trail 1-0, and the 0-1 missing inside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Benavides looking for his first base hit of this tournament. Takes a hack as he got tied up with an inside pitch, 1-2. Seung-Hwan Ji looking for his 4th strikeout. Instead, it's on the ground, right side, and fair. Down the line, Miranda on his way to second, or third rather. He'll be held up right there, as it was a good play in right by Jang to get the baseball in quickly. And Nicaragua making some noise. Here in the last of the second inning, they'll turn the lineup back over to Maldonado and see if he can tie this ball game up. You see that one just past the diving Wu at first base. First base umpire in prime position to make the call. So here's Monty Alto. Walked and was stranded at third last inning. The chance to drive in the first run for his club. Potentially tie or take the lead. First real high leverage spot for Seung-Hwan Ji is the next in for a called strike. It's 0-2. Ji is struck out 3. It's a base hit right side. No, it's not. It's cut off at second. Great play by Lee. He was playing deep. He made the play. Throws over, and the inning is over. Nicaragua strand 2 more. They've left a total of 4 through 2. Good ball game. Korea leading it 1-0. intriguing game to this point that has certainly lived up to the hype. We knew that it would be hotly contested, and it has been just that. A couple of teams playing and vying for their chance to get into the super round. Korea, a must-win for them. And Nicaragua, win and you are in. It's as simple as that. Korea to the plate here in the top of the third. Nicaragua has stranded 4 runners in 2 innings. Is Sunwoo Lee, the man leading things off for Korea. 9-1-2 in their order here in the third. 1-0 to Lee, high and inside. 2 balls, no strikes. A tale of 2 very different innings for Derek Reyes. He made quick work of Korea in the first and labored a bit in the second, putting a couple on. Runner coming home to score and a strikeout. Hit 2-0 outside. Now 3 balls, no strikes. .3-0 coming on the inner part of the plate. A called strike, 3-1. Chanso Lee is the man on deck as Korea waits to turn the lineup over here in the third inning. Will he be hitting with a man aboard? Yes, he will. The 3-1 taken low, and Sunwoo Lee draws a leadoff walk to begin things here in the third. Well, we saw Korean pitching staff pay quite a bit of attention to base runners a couple of innings ago. Nicaragua doing much of the same, as here's a fly ball lifted into shallow left. Coming on to get it is Miranda. He's able to make the catch. 1 gone here in the third inning. Good defense is something we've seen from each of these 2 clubs, as it looks like they're going to call a balk. So a balk was called. The runner will go to the second. The pitch does not count, so it's not a fly ball out for Chanso Lee. Instead, it's a no pitch, and he remains at the plate. The next pitch to him is high and inside. There's also nobody out in the inning. Well, what a change of events that is. The throw down nearly in time, but Lee's able to dive back in safely. And a few very close calls on the base pads. And a big balk call that could potentially change the complexion of this inning, as this ball is bunted foul off toward the left side. So the call was that Reyes did not come set, or must have stepped off the rubber. We may get another look at it. But one way or another, a balk was called that allows Lee to advance to second base, and what would have been a fly ball out, the first of the inning, is erased. Next ball is fouled off behind home plate. Here we'll get a look at it. Yeah, and he didn't come set. He tried to quick pitch. And instead ends up being called for the balk. It's a good call by the umpiring crew. You've got to come set. With a runner on base, as this ball is taken just high and away. It's nearly a strike 3 call on Lee. Now let you get away with that without runners on base. With a man aboard, you must come set. This ball taken high and away. Again, a lot of these youngsters just learning the rules of pitching with having runners that are leading off. It's not necessarily a common thing that you see in under 12 baseball, but playing under those parameters here in this World Cup. And here's a pop fly, this time to the shortstop. Chato is the man who is there, and he makes the catch. So one way or another, Chanso Lee is retired on a fly ball out, be it to left field, be it to shortstop. He's the first out of the inning. And Nicaragua look like they may make a pitching change. 50 pitches been thrown by Derek Reyes here. Mauricio Benavides coming out to have a chat with not only Reyes but his entire infield. But it looks like he will keep Reyes in the ball game. He's pitched very well to this point. The only worrying factor is that pitch count is starting to elevate. 50 pitches with one out here in the third. Was efficient in the first and to throw a lot of pitches in that second inning. They've got double-barreled action, a lefty and a righty warming in the Nicaraguan pen. Runner is going from second, throw not in time. Stolen base for Lee. And now even a fly ball could potentially extend the Korean lead as they have a runner at third, less than 2 outs. Gallardo was late to cover the third base bag. Lee spotted that. There was no one anywhere close to third. He swipes the bag rather easily in the end. As Songwoo Chang hitting 1 ball, 1 strike. He struck out back in the first. 1-1 to Chang is popped up. This might get the job done. The runner is tagging. The catch is made, and a good throw in is going to deter the runner. Strong throw out in right center field, and Sunwoo Lee thought better of it and held up at third base. 2 outs and a big, big fly ball out there for Derek Reyes and Nicaragua. So now the inning is up to Jong-Gu Jang. He was another strikeout victim back in the first inning. An off-speed pitch here, missing. Korea scored once in the second. They left a runner at third in that inning. They don't want to do that again. Panama has left 4 through their 2 at-bats. The next in for a called strike, and the count even 1-1. Big moment in this ball game here. Nicaragua wouldn't want to give up another run as the 1-1 missing off the plate. 2 balls and a strike. And Jong-Gu Jang has been one of the better all-arounders to this point in the tournament for Korea. He's been phenomenal on top of the mound. He has scored 3 runs. He's driven in a couple. Looking for another one here. The next to him is tapped foul at the plate. And the count is even 2 balls, 2 strikes. Nicaragua hasn't had to play from behind much in this tournament, aside from their lone loss to the United States. Reyes can get out of the inning here. The 2-2 to Jang, just off the outer part of the plate. Boy, he had a notion to swing. You'll get a really good look at it here. Does he hold up his swing? Yeah, he does. Nearly bit on the breaking ball. 3 balls, 2 strikes. The offering to Jang is laced. Base hit left side. 2-0 Korea. A clutch base hit into left. Smoked off the bat of Jong-Gu Jang, and Korea have taken a 2-0 lead here in the third. Watch this ball jump off the bat. Perfectly placed. And Korea have plated a run in back-to-back frames. Swinging first pitch is Sungwon Ji, and he fouls it off behind home plate. Two times in this ball game, Reyes has tried to pitch out of jams, but Korea has just been too strong. Runner is going. Pitch is called a ball, and Jang is there with relative ease. Ball and a strike on G. On the ground, left side. It's gloved there by Cayado. He throws across the diamond, and the inning is over. But for the second consecutive frame, Korea, they played a run, playing good baseball, and this must win in Taiwan. They lead it 2-0 through 2.5. Nicaragua coming to the plate last of the third inning, trailing 2-0. And a win and you're in ball game for them, as this one is popped up into left center field. Jang is there, and Tito Martinez, swinging first pitch, is retired for the first out here in the last of the third inning. And despite the pressure they might be feeling, this Korean team still playing very loose. As you see Jang Jang with a smile on his face. All in all, it's what this tournament is about. Exposing these talented young men to the international stage. Sure, they'd like to win. They like to medal and make a good showing for their country, but it's about camaraderie and growing up loving the game of baseball. This one is swung on and missed. Quickly, no balls and 2 strikes on Machado. As he's one of 3 strikeout victims of Seung-Hwan Jang in this ball game. Jang looking for his 4th. 0-2. Hit right side. Diving attempt made by Wu, but it trickles into right. And Machado is aboard. Third base hit of the day for Nicaragua, and they have a base runner with 2 gone in the inning. Jerome Bravo will stand in next. And leaping play over there at first by Wu, but just beyond the outstretched arms. Nicaragua now have 3 hits. Gerald Bravo has one of those. Quick snap throw over to first. Machado back in safely. Seung-Hwan Ji has spent a lot of time worrying about the base runners in this ball game. So throw over again. And to this point, it hasn't come back to bite him. You spend time worrying about the base runners. Sometimes you tend to forget about the guy at the plate. This one taken off the plate. 1 ball, no strikes. Seung-Hwan Ji has been in a couple of jams. Runners at first and second in the first, second and third in inning number 2. This one's over for a called strike, count even. And he has to pitch around another base runner now after Machado's 1-out single. Nicaragua still yet to steal a base in this tournament, but Korea paying an awful lot of attention to the base runners. One is shot foul into the stands, and a fan down that right field line. Had a prime chance to catch a foul ball, but, well, he blew it. Looks like they may have given the baseball to a kid, so works out in the end. It's the next swung on and missed. Boy, G pulled the string to strike out Jarrell Bravo, and there's 2 outs here in the third. Oh man, did he ever take something off this pitch? Look at the hook. Don't mind if I do. Good offering from Seung-Hwan Jang. His 4th strikeout of the afternoon. Diego Collado is the last hope in the inning for Nicaragua as he takes ball 1. Collado grounded out back to the pitcher in his only previous at bat today. 3 for 10 in the tournament. Another check on the runner at first. Seung-Hwan Ji, the antithesis, you'd have to think, of what a guy like John Lester, who hasn't thrown over in years in the big leagues. Runner is going, and Nicaragua had their first stolen base. And it comes at a rather opportune time. I'm going to say that was it interference. Well, I'm not sure what the call was, but one way or another, the inning is over. Benavides is not happy. We'll get another look at it on the replay here, as it was a swing and a miss. And we'll head to a break. Korea leading Nicaragua 2-0. Another look at it here as we head to the 4th inning and that final out of the 3rd. I've gone back and had a second look at it, and it was interference that they called on Diego Collado at the plate. The replay we showed you heading to break was 5 or 10 frames too shy of where it needed to be. What ended up happening is Gung Lee had to throw over the top of Collado. And you'll get a look at it here. He'll step on the plate. Lee had to throw over the top of him, and immediately Gerardo Mendoza made the call. So that's how the inning ends. Unfortunate for Nicaragua is that they had a man on, would have had a runner in scoring position. Instead, it's erased on the interference by the batter. And now Korea are hitting here in the 4th inning with a 2-0 lead. This ball swung on and missed by Jung-Yu Woo. And the count now 1-2. You don't see that call often, but Gerardo Mendoza, not only did he get it right, but he was right on top of it. Took him no time at all. Next to Wu on the ground, left side, base hit, past a diving Collado. And Korea have the leadoff man aboard for the 2nd consecutive inning. And that's their 5th base hit of the afternoon. Hard hit ball through the left side. We've seen a couple of those. Collado made a pretty good attempt at it. Just trickles underneath his glove, and Korea threatening again. First pitch to Jin Jung Lee is low for ball 1. Well, if If you ask Jungwon Kim, he would probably tell you that he doesn't believe Korea has played their best baseball yet in this tournament. And I would probably concur with that thought, as this ball is laced left center field. Will it find the gap? No. Monte Alto is there. He catches the liner for the first out. It was a tough loss to Panama for Korea in a 1-0 game that is still one of the games of the tournament. And of course, having to play the United States is not proved to be an easy task for any team in this tournament. So really a hard luck loss for Korea. They win that game against Panama. Perhaps they win it 1-0 as opposed to losing it 1-0. You're looking at a 3-1 team with a chance to be the number 2 side to come out of Group B, but and some of these teams are so tightly bunched, particularly like they are in Group B with Korea, Panama, and Nicaragua. Sometimes it can be that lone run that can change an entire tournament. Runner is going, ball is swung on, line to center. Monte Alto came in too far, and it sails over his head. Boy, off the bat, Gerald Monte Alto came sprinting in 4 or 5 steps, quickly realized that the ball was going to sail farther than he initially thought. Watch him come in, slam on the brakes, and immediately run backwards. That's why they teach you early in your baseball life that your first step is always back. As an outfielder, they're going to call a balk on Derek Reyes, the second they've called against him today. Again, he didn't come set. And again, it's called. So erase the strikes, put runners at second and third, and now the first offering to Lee. Swung on, looped into left, a base hit. 1 run will score. They will hold Kim at third. It's an RBI single for Gong Lee and a 3-0 Korea lead. And that will likely spell the end of the afternoon for Derek Lee. One run in each of the last 3 frames for Korea. Lee and his teammates celebrating. And Derek Reyes' afternoon has come to an end here at Tainan. We're going to have a pitching change. Nicaragua trailing 3-0. They're going to go to the bullpen. They'll be back to Tainan in just a moment. Look at the numbers for Tito Martinez, who actually pitched in yesterday's ball game for Nicaragua as part of their 10-4 win against Australia. You look at the score and say, well, 10-4, they must have taken care of the Aussies quite well. At one point, they trailed 4-3 in the 3rd inning of that ball game. And it was this young man that came in late and sort of helped to seal that victory. But by only throwing 19 pitches yesterday, he's eligible to come back and pitch in this ball game, and his team is a bit on the ropes. Runners at first and third, only 1 out. They've already surrendered 3. Get a look at the numbers for Derek Reyes. Can't quite close the book on him. He's still responsible for the 2 runners on, but he didn't pitch poorly. 3 1/3, allowed 5 hits, struck out 4. A couple of balks really hurt him. Also a run come home to score and a strikeout. So unlucky at times, but Koreans, as they have been from time to time in this tournament, advantageous so far this afternoon. And for that, they have a 3-0 lead. Going to lay down a bunt here is Sunwoo Lee. He pushes it off foul toward the left side. Well, the inning began when Jungwoo Woo singled. A line out and then a pair of singles later. A run is scored and there's men at the corners. Korea still threatening. The next to Lee. Again, he attempts a bunt. Gets it down. The run will score. The only play is to first. It's 4-0 Korea. Well, the sacrifice is a beauty from Sunwoo Lee as he gets the bunt down. Fundamental baseball. It's Korean baseball. Get a good look at it here. Runner was on his way home. It was bunted rather swiftly toward the pitcher, but with Ji-Wook Kim off with the pitch from third. He scored with relative ease. There's now 2 outs, but Korea lead at 4-0. Chance-So Lee now. He takes the 0-1. It's now no balls and 2 strikes. And a Korean win here makes things very, very interesting as far as who will advance into the super round. This one swung on and missed. And the inning is over. Korea, they played 2 more in the 4th inning. Martinez strikes out the last man he faces. We go to the last of the 4th inning. Nicaragua in need of some runs. They trail 4-0. Sungwon Ji has been quite effective in his 3 innings pitched. Has pitched around a few jams. Nicaragua has not been without their chances. They've stranded a couple of men on base in a strange inning to the 3rd when Diego Gallardo was called out for interference. And Carlos Torrentes is the man who hits from the right side. A ground ball to the left. Good play by Lee. Strong throw across is not in time. And Torrentes will reach to lead things off here in the 4th. Well, that's what happens when that ball comes into that running lane. Of course, this is why they tell you to stay in the running lane as a base runner, because you have the rights to that. And by being in that lane and then running into the first baseman, him dropping the baseball, Torrentes is safe. If he's outside of the running lane and runs into the defender, the umpiring crew might not be so nice. There's a lesson to be learned there. Even big leaguers do it sometime. And don't use that running lane going down to first base, and it bites them on eerie plays at first. Korea, as they have been doing all afternoon, keeping the runners honest over there at first. As a pinch hitter now here for Nicaragua. Brian Rosales, the man who's at the plate. A 1-1 count. He's hitting here for Nelson Sevilla in the designated hitter spot. Sevilla struck out looking back in the second inning. There, Rosales, and his first at bat of the day, only his second of the tournament, up in a big spot. Runner not going. There, and it's fouled off toward the right side. A ball and 2 strikes. Again, a win from Korea and a win from Panama tonight. You've got a 3-way tie. And there's only 2 spots left in Group B, as this one's fouled off toward the right side. And even more interesting is that all of those teams would be 1-1 against each other. They all beat up on each other in this 3-way tie that could potentially come to fruition. This ball missing off the outside part of the plate. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Nicaragua defeated Panama. Panama defeated Korea. And a Korean win against Nicaragua would potentially mean a 3-way tie and a chance to get to the super round, as this ball is popped up behind home plate foul. It'll stay 2-2. Preliminarily, when looking at run differentials, Nicaragua and Korea are probably in the best spot. Those figures don't look to favor Panama as well as they do Nicaragua and Korea. So you'd think that these 2 teams playing here, would there be a 3-way tie? Would potentially be the 2 to get by. And this all depending on how many runs Panama scores tonight against Australia, of course. This one is inside outed, right side. It's caught by the first baseman, and Wu is going to double off Torrentes at first. Torrentes thought the ball was hit a lot harder than it was. He was on his way to second. Heads up baseball at first base by Jong-Gyu Wu as he comes over, makes the catch, immediately plants and turns, steps atop the bag, 2 outs. And that's going to be the end of the afternoon for Sungwon Ji. Pitched very, very well against this Nicaraguan side, and most importantly is giving his Korean team a chance to win the game and stay in contention for the super round that starts tomorrow. We'll step aside, a pitching change for Jongwon Kim and Korea. They lead at 4-0 here in the last of the 4th. Jang-Gu Jang, the man that will get the baseball for Korea, and he's been one of their better pitchers throughout this tournament. A pitching staff that has been very, very good in Korea. And Jang-Gu Jang, potentially one of the best that they have had. He's thrown quite a bit already in this tournament, but as well as he has thrown and his ability to come in and shut down opposing offenses, why would you not turn to him in this instance? That's obviously Korea's train of thought. Needing a win, they don't win this ball game, nothing else really matters. As this will be the 4th time in 6 days that Jang-Gu Jang has pitched, but they've been very well spread apart. He threw 45 pitches on the first day, had to rest on day 2. And they've been smart about his usage since. He threw 29 pitches on Sunday, Korea's game against the United States. 9 pitches yesterday, and here he is appearing for the 4th time. And he will face the right-handed swinging Freddie Miranda, who takes a big cut at the opening pitch. And it's 0-1. Very good final numbers on Sungwon Ji as he goes 3 2/3. Ball on the ground, right side. Should be the inning. Woo has it, steps on the bag. And the side retired in order. Takes Jang only 2 pitches to get the final out of the inning. We've played 4 complete. Korea well in control. They lead it 4-0. Folks who have been braving the elements throughout the week, the elements much more favorable today as we head to the 5th inning. Another plane flying overhead on its way to the airport here in Tainan, in close proximity to this Tainan Municipal Stadium. Folks staying hydrated, eating plenty of goodies as you do at the ballpark. It's the one thing about being at a ballpark. Doesn't matter what country you're in, what side of the world you're on, there's always good eats to be had. Folks finding shade anywhere they can get it. It has gotten hot since the sun has come out earlier this afternoon, but we'd much rather see the sunshine than the raindrops falling at Tainan Municipal Stadium, which has been a familiar sight here the last few days. Nicaragua, they would like to score some runs. First, they're going to have to limit the ones Korea have pushed across the plate. It's a 4-0 ball game. Korea leading it. They scored 2 an inning ago. Swinging first pitch here for Korea is Songwoo Jang, the right fielder. Tito Martinez, the left-hander, out for another inning of work. Started the game in right field. Came on in relief of Derek Reyes. Got the strikeout of the leadoff man last inning. Very good off-speed pitch. Ties up Jang. It's 0-2. Good ball game coming your way next. Japan and Chinese Taipei. Another intriguing ball game for many of the same reasons that this one has been so much fun to watch. Japan, the top-ranked nation in the world, getting set to take on Chinese Taipei, a team that defeated Mexico 10-0 earlier. As the 1-2 is low, now 2 balls and 2 strikes. The 2-2 high and away, now 3-2. Martinez in danger of putting the leadoff man. The payoff pitch is hit toward the right side. It's Bravo going back, and he makes the catch. And Jang is retired for the first out of the inning. See the coaching staff for Chinese Taipei finding some shade. There in the outfield, that's just to the right of the left field foul pole. Ying Fang starting to devise his lineup for what will be an important ball game for them a little bit later on this afternoon. Next pitch to Songwoo Jang in for a called strike, 0-1. Here's a ground ball up the middle. Fielded it short. Good pickup by Maldonado. And very quickly, there's 2 outs here in the 5th inning rather. Nicaraguan defense has not had a 1-2-3 inning since the first. Songwoo Ji, the man at the plate, and he takes a called strike. So again, this is not the result that Panama was hoping for. They still have one more game to play. That's against Australia later on tonight. It's been swung on and missed. Because they don't stack up as favorably as Korea and Nicaragua do in terms of run differential, it could be bad news for Panama. Here's a swing and a miss by G and a quick inning of work for Tito Martinez. Side retired in order through 4.5. Korea leading at 4-0. 4-0 Korea's. Nicaragua come to the plate in the last of the 5th inning, and they are running out of outs. Only 6 outs remaining in this ball game. Again, win and you're in. There's no doubt about it for Nicaragua, but Korea have not made it that easy. 9, 1, and 2 spots are the scheduled due-ups as Mauricio Benavides, who singled back in the 2nd inning, leads things off, fouls it off toward the right side, 0-2. It looks as though on the other side of the ledger in Group A, the Chinese Taipei, Japan, and Mexico have all punched their tickets. This one is swung on and missed. And Benavides is down on strikes. We'll look at it from the side-on angle, swinging through a pitch. Result in the Mexico-Brazil game is still potentially of interest as this ball is fouled off at home plate. Montialto fouled it off his foot. It's 0-1. Brazil beat Mexico, and Japan lose to Chinese Taipei. Japan and Brazil will need to finish the game that they played yesterday. You would think so, at least, so that there was a head-to-head record. Because if Brazil wins that game, they would have equal records, and Brazil would have won the head-to-head. There's still quite a bit to get sorted out, but again, Japan does look like one of the favorites with Chinese Taipei and Mexico to get into the super round. By the way, Mexico leading Brazil 2-1 right now at Shanghua in the 2nd inning. Big swing and a miss and a 0-2 and back-to-back strikeouts for Zhanghu Jiang. He's retired the only 3 men that he's faced. And there are 2 outs for Tito Martinez. Montialto climbing the ladder on an 0-2 pitch, and he came up empty. First to Martinez, a fastball that misses outside, ball 1. Nothing in 1. Fouled straight back, and it's a ball and a strike. Martinez struck out of the 1st. He flied out to center field to begin the 3rd inning. 1-1 off the plate, eyeing away. 2 balls and a strike. This is the Korea we're used to seeing in international baseball competitions. The number 3 ranked nation in the world. Ball popped up behind home plate, foul. And the disappointment of the World Baseball Classic potentially still on the mind of some of the Korean national fans. Hosting in Seoul at the Jiachek Sky Dome and watching the Netherlands and Israel celebrate as the teams that came out of that group. This ball is swung on and tapped foul at home plate. We'll do it again, 2-2. We're not that far removed from Korea winning the Premier 12 a couple of years ago. If the Nicaraguan players look on, they lose this game. Might need a little help to ensure that they get past the opening round, as this ball just missing off the plate, and the count's now full. Get another look at it here, just missing inside. Payoff pitch to Martinez inside. It's a 2-out walk. And Brian Machado will get a chance to hit. First base runner that Zhanghu Jiang is allowed in the ballgame. Nicaragua's at a base runner in 4 of the 5 innings. First pitch to Machado is in for a called strike. Still plenty of baseball left to be played. 4 more days of action following today. We will start the Super Round tomorrow morning. Ball swung and fouled straight back. Quickly, no balls and 2 strikes on Machado. Again, barring Brazil going on a tear and Japan losing tonight, won't have any need for opening round games tomorrow necessarily. This one on the ground, left side, and through for a base hit. A walk and a single after back-to-back strikeouts to start the inning. Don't close the book on Nicaragua just yet. They've shown they can score runs in bunches. And it'll be up to Joel Bravo, looking for his second hit of the day to extend the inning here in the 5th. Nicaragua down to their final 4 outs of the ball game, trying to stamp their ticket into the Super Round. This one hit right side and a base hit. They're sending the runner from second. Martinez scores. Nicaragua on the board here in the last of the 5th. Bravo just sticks the bat out, pushes it past the second baseman on the right side of the infield. Good piece of hitting, inside outing a ball. Pushing it past Lee at second. And Nicaragua will send the potential tying run to the plate in the form of Diego Collado. Boy, would this be a big spot for his first home run of the tournament. First offering missing low. Nicaragua have only hit 1 home run this tournament. It was Joel Bravo, the man who stands atop first base, but a big fly here could tie us at 4. The man at the plate to do it. The 1-0 is low. 2 balls, no strikes. There may be another twist in the plot left. The 2-0 to Collado. He had visions of a home run, a big swing, and he fouls it straight back 1-2. Get the feeling this could be the ball game right here. Two ones swung on and missed, and a high fastball, 2-2. Korea a strike away from getting out of it. Nicaragua a swing away from potentially tying it. Low, 3 balls, 2 strikes. And with that, the runners will be off with this pitch. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. The payoff from G on the ground, left side. It's picked up by Lee across the diamond. Korea gets the out. And they survive and advance. Nicaragua strand another pair. They've left 7 runners on base. We go to the 6th inning. Korea 3 outs away from a win. Several Chinese Taipei fans sticking around after their game earlier today, and this ball game sandwiched in between a pair of games for Chinese Taipei as they will play once again against regional rival Japan following this contest. And this one's turned into a good one. Nicaragua with potential tying chance with one of their power hitters at the plate. Jonggu Jang gets the ground ball to end the inning. We go to the sixth. Still a very compelling ball game as Korea will come to the plate. Certainly looking for as much insurance as they can possibly get. They lead it 4-1 here in the sixth inning. You're going to win from Korea. Will put their record at 3-2. It will also make Nicaragua fall to 3-2. And a win from Panama tonight against Australia would create a three-way tie. Leading things off here is Jonggu Wu. He swings through the first as Tito Martinez back out for another inning of work. The left-hander, the second arm atop the hill for Nicaragua this afternoon. 0-1, fouled off. It's quickly no balls and 2 strikes. It'll be Jonggu Wu, Jinjong Lee, and Jiwook Kim. The 3 scheduled due-ups. They've yet to get this young man out. He has singled and scored a pair of times today. 0-2, low and away, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Some atmosphere abound at the ballpark, as you might imagine. Fans starting to file in anticipation of seeing Chinese Taipei's 5th ball game of the tournament. Here's a ground ball to third. Tough play for Machado. Throws on the run and gets Jonggu Wu for the first out here in the 6th. Stellar defense from Brian Machado there at shortstop. And now Jinjong Lee will hit. But perhaps not before a pitching change. Well, it looks like one of the assistant coaches has hopped out of the dugout for Nicaragua. And I'm not sure what the conversation is. He's talking with Joel Bravo, who is the first baseman. Looks like we'll have a pitching change as Rosales pops out of the dugout. He's going to the outfield. Which could potentially mean that Monte Alto is going to come in to pitch. It looks like Monte Alto will play first base, and that's where Joel Bravo was. So it is Bravo who comes out of the ball game. Looks like he might have injured himself. So Rosales goes out to play center. Monte Alto will come in to take over for Bravo. There's no pitching change. It's a defensive switch. And now Jinjong Lee will come to the plate with 1 out, nobody aboard. And the first to Lee is fouled off toward the right side. For the record, Mexico leading Brazil 4-1. A Brazilian loss would cement Japan's spot in Group A. That ball game in the 2nd inning being played at Shenhua Stadium just a few minutes north of here. The ball is tapped foul at home plate, and the count's 0-2. And a win from Mexico would mean a loss for Brazil, which would put Japan in. And Japan, even with a win against Chinese Taipei tonight, could be in good shape. This ball is just off the plate outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. There's a scenario potentially in which Japan doesn't make the Super Round, and there's a scenario in which they could be the top-ranked team to come out of Group A. It's still that tight. This ball is swung on and hammered deep into left center field, off the bat of Lee, gone! Jinjong Lee hits Korea's first home run of the tournament. And it provides a bit of insurance here in the top of the 6th inning. Now this ball was left up. Lee didn't miss it, and he gets just enough of it to push it over the head of Miranda and over the left field fence. 5-1 South Korea. Ju-Wook Kim now batting. And that might just be the dagger that gets Korea their third win in this tournament. Comes in a big spot. They had not hit a home run coming into tonight's game. That is their first of the tournament, and it is a big, big spot. Swing and a miss for Ju-Wook Kim. And the count's 2-1. Saw a 3-run lead threatened a half inning ago. Team, you like to get to a 4 or 5 run lead because you know one swing of the bat potentially can't beat you. The difference between a 3-run lead and a 4-run lead in this game is mightily important. Nicaragua took one back in the 5th, but Korea had immediately pushed the lead back to 4 as this ball's high and away off the plate, and Kim draws a walk. And there's now a base runner with 1 out of the inning, and that will draw a visit from the catcher Mauricio Benavides. '30th pitch of the inning upcoming for Martinez. 30th pitch of the game, I should say, instead of throw over. Gets away from Montialto momentarily, but is able to keep Kim at first base. Gung Lee's 1 for 2. He's driven in a run today. Swings at the offering, 0-1. Looking ahead to the Nicaraguan half of the 6th inning. It'll be the 6, 7, and 8 hitters. Not your normal 6, 7, and 8 hitters. Can hit for power, can hit for average up and down the lineup, can Nicaraguans. Something that's made them quite tough in this tournament. It's a tough hill to climb in the 6th. Martinez trying to keep it just a 4-run game as the runner is going to throw his to the backstop. And Kim will swipe the bag. One fouled off behind home plate. 1 ball and 2 strikes. It's 6:30, the scheduled start time for Japan and Chinese Taipei. It's a game that is rescheduled from Sunday. It was meant to be the final game of the night on Sunday, but it was when we saw some of the late effects of Typhoon Nisat before the tropical storm hit us. Then ensued 4 days of rain here in Tainan. This one is swung on and missed. And Lee is down on strikes, 2 gone here in the 6th. So here's Sun-Woo Lee hitting with 2 outs. Korea has already plated a runner on their first home run of the tournament, and it comes in the 5th ball game that they have played. Lee walked and scored in the 3rd. He also laid down a sacrifice bunt in the 4th inning. And the 0-1 missing just off the plate outside. And they're going to call a balk. 3rd balk call of this ball game against Nicaragua. There were 2 against Reyes. And now the call against Tito Martinez will send Ju-Wook Kim to 3rd base. The 0-1 is fouled straight back. No balls and 2 strikes. Despite the balk call, Martinez a strike away from getting out of the inning and giving his team a chance for a miraculous comeback. The 0-2 again popped foul off toward the right side, out of play. We'll do it again. The 6, 7, and 8 spots looming for Nicaragua. Torrentes, Sevilla, and Freddie Miranda. A win from South Korea in this ball game makes the super round scenarios very, very interesting. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. The next to Lee is high, and the count is full. Chanso Lee, the leadoff man, awaits on deck. If Sunwoo Lee can extend the inning. The payoff pitch coming from the lefty Martinez. Here it is, swung on and missed. It gets away from the catcher. And it'll be the 3rd out of the inning one way or another. Lee strikes out. The inning is over, but they get an extra run. Jin-Jong Lee hits the first bomb of the tournament for Korea. They've got a 4-run lead as we head to the 6th. Last of the 6th inning we go in Tainan, and Korea just 3 outs away from giving themselves a very, very good chance of making it to the super round. To get a win in this game for Korea, they will ascend to 3 wins and 2 losses. A loss for Nicaragua would make them 3-2 as well. And what that means is if Panama is able to beat Australia, Korea, Nicaragua, and Panama all sit at 3-2, and all have beat each other. And there's only 2 other spots in Pool B to join the United States in the super round. So things get very interesting. Tie-break scenarios. And a lot to look at, and a lot to look forward to. As you get a look at why that was called out by Gerardo Mendoza. He's been very good behind the plate. After the swing and a miss, it actually hit the batter, which the ball is immediately dead. And that was the reason for Mendoza making the out call and sending us to the last of the 6th. Carlos Torrentes leading things off, swinging from the right side, and he takes ball 1. Torrentes is grounded out to the pitcher. He's also singled and been doubled off today. The 1-0 inside, 2 balls and no strikes. For those interested in the score of that Mexico-Brazil game, as you get another look at the play there, Gerardo Mendoza, he's been all over it. The home plate umpire has had to make a few tough calls, a few strange calls, peculiar things that you don't often see in a baseball game, but he's been all over it. This entire officiating crew has been very, very good throughout the duration of this tournament. 2-1 is swung on and fouled off toward the right side. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Torrentes, Sevilla, and Miranda, the 3 due up. If anyone's able to reach, it'll be Benavides, the 9-hole hitter for Nicaragua. The 2-2 bouncing in the dirt off the plate outside. It's now 3 balls, 2 strikes. Songhwan Jang gave Korea a phenomenal start. 3 1/3 innings. He struck out 6. And now Jong-gu Jang trying to slam the door on Nicaragua. Payoff pitch popped up. Into right field. Jang is there. He makes the catch, and there's 1 out. So here's Nelson Sevilla now with 1 out, nobody aboard. First to him a called strike. And it's actually a pinch hitter for Sevilla, looks like. Lester Lopez is the man at the plate, and he hits one off the end of the bat and right to the pitcher. Good play by Jong-gu Jang. He catches the soft pop-up, and there's 2 outs. Lopez just got a piece of it, just floated it toward the pitcher. Jong-gu Jang never panicked, threw the glove up, made the catch. There were 2 outs. Another quick meeting on the mound, but Jong-gu Jang's day will be over with his pitch count at 34. Seems a bit strange that pitch count on that we're currently showing to you is saying 34. If that's the case, Jang will have to sit tomorrow anyways. It's strange that we'd see him pulled here with 2 outs in the 6th inning, but nonetheless, that's the decision that Jung-Hwan Kim is going to make. We will see Jung-Hwan Kim. This is Juwak Kim, rather. Who got the start at shortstop earlier today. He will be the man in charge with closing out the ball game. So Jong-gu Jang throwing 34 pitches, but Jung-Hwan Kim electing to pull him for this final out. And giving that responsibility to the starting 3rd baseman. So again, stick around for our next game of the day. It should be a good one. Japan and Chinese Taipei. The other ball game or score relevant for Japan is Mexico and Brazil. Mexico with a 4-2 lead as it currently stands in the 3rd inning. That game being played at Shenhua. The other games that have gone final today, the United States 20-3 over Germany. The U.S. 5-0 in the opening round. Japan 31-0 over South Africa. Japan finally getting that elusive 2nd win. It's taken them forever to play their 3rd game as this ball is lined over the head of the right fielder and a base hit. Miranda won't get far as he's held at first. But a nice piece of hitting with 2 outs by the youngster, and it extends the inning to Mauricio Benavides. Instead, Benavides will be pinch hit for a big swing from the young right-hander Miranda. Lifting one the opposite way, put everything he had into that baseball. As Juan Rivera is the man at the plate. It's strange to see Ji-wook Kim worrying about the runner at first. You're up 4. Get the out at home. Ground ball toward the left side. Spoiled foul. Benavides in the hole, 0-1. Rather, Rivera, Juan Rivera, who's pinch hitting for Mauricio Benavides. Korean faithful here at Tainan Municipal, ready to celebrate. Nicaragua down to their final out. the 1-1, missing inside, 2 balls and a strike. Can Rivera extend the ball game? Swing and a miss. Nicaragua down to their final strike. Gerald Montialto awaits on deck, the top of the order looming. Kim trying to take care of it right here. The 2-2 is high, gets away from the catcher. Miranda scampers on down to second. It's now a full count. And a big payoff pitch coming with 2 outs here in the 6th. The next to Rivera on the ground, left side, picked up well by Lee, and the ball game is over. Good work by Kim to finish things off. The Korean pitching staff was phenomenal. They get their first home run, and they win in a must-win situation. 5-1 over Nicaragua. 5 runs, 6 hits for Korea, 1 run on 7 hits for Nicaragua. They left a total of 7 runners on base in this ball game, and that's the one thing they'll look back on and say they had their chances, particularly early, and they just couldn't capitalize. So the win for Korea takes them to 3-2. The loss for Nicaragua drops them to 3-2. Our eyes will now turn to Panama and Australia. The nightcap here at Tainan Municipal. If Panama wins, we're looking at a 3-way tie. If Australia wins, then it's rather easy. Korea and Nicaragua will each advance to the Super Round. 1 game to play before then, though, and it's a goodie. Japan taking on Chinese Taipei, our next broadcast here from Tainan. But for now, we will say so long and see you right back here in just a little while. And get our final score, 5-1. Korea finishing the opening round 3-2. After a win over Nicaragua. On behalf of the WPSC, the Chinese Taipei Baseball Association, and the Tainan City Government, my name is Andrew Reynolds saying so long for now. We'll see you in just a little bit for Chinese Taipei and Japan.